Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, author, romantasy author of epic fantasy romance. It's been a minute. I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Ah, today is, who knows? Who knows what day it is? It is Monday, April 29th, last day of April for the podcast. How does this happen? We don't know. Time has flown. I am back from Apollycon, so I've got a wrap up for you on thoughts from Apollycon, how it went, industry, things that I learned. Did I learn things? I don't know. My mind is still a bit of a blank. I think I am going to take today to catch up, which I feel like I've been doing nonstop for weeks, all months long. Um, Yeah, it's I didn't work on the book at all last week. Nope, not at all. And it was fine. Whatever. Who needs to write books? So, let's see. When we last left our heroine, it was a week ago Monday, and I was going to take Monday and Tuesday to catch up and get ready, and I did, and I got out of here by the skin of my teeth on Tuesday afternoon. I was so glad that I took that time because I got all of the most critical stuff done. I didn't get everything on my list done, but I got a lot done, and it did make a big difference to have that time. And uh, early Wednesday morning, flew to Apollycon, got there in the afternoon, and checked in, got there amazingly, like right at the same time as my roommate, the delightful Maria Vale. Uh, and Maria had some interesting insights. You all know that I'm not terribly good at staying chronological on stuff, so I will be bouncing about round and about. It's funny because I write linear, but I do not speak linear or think linear. I think we shall find out. So, Maria had an interesting insight. Well, she said I had an insight, and it led to her having an insight, which is one of the best things about going to a conference with people is getting to hang out and share, dare I say, insights. Um, After the first signing session, so this time there were three 4-hour signing sessions, which I feel like is way more than last year. We think last year it was only 3 hours. These were 4 hours. The first one was on Friday afternoon uh, at like, I think it was 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. Does it matter? Do we care? Um, it probably doesn't matter. And on Saturday morning, then we started at 8, which was a full hour earlier than before. We did 8 to 12 and then 2 to 6. And it was a long day. And overall, the the sales felt slower. My first year at Apollycon, I sold over $1,000 worth of books, much less last year, then less again this year. Uh, I had a lot of readers taking photos of the books. A lot of people took bookmarks, marking it down to read on Kindle or to listen on Audible. Uh, that was a big takeaway, was they wanted to know how many of these books were on Audible, and fortunately almost all of mine are, or on audio. And so they really wanted to know. They were adding things to their Audible queue as right there at the table, so that was great. I did sell some books, but for the most part, people were not wanting to get signed books of my variety. The crowd seemed to have shifted. It's very young, has shifted very young. And, like gals in their 20s. One gal did buy a book from me, came by with her mom. I don't think she was a teenager, but she may have been pretty young. I was careful to say that mine were adult, and they were both like great. So that was good. Um, but the brisk trade seemed to be in the Kindle Unlimited books that are very popular that people were buying special editions of. And so for me, it felt like a little bit of a pause year. And I will get back to that. I will come back to that. Maria's experience was, and not dissimilar to mine, that people kept coming up to her table saying, "Oh, I've had your books on my TBR forever." And I was hearing a lot of, "Oh, I've read all your books and love them." And so that's where my pause thing comes in that I'll come back to. But Maria and I were talking about that, like here she's has not had a new release in a while. Neither one of us has. And she decided to shift her strategy on Saturday to talking people into moving her book up their queue to get them to read it. Uh, Take it off your TBR and get it on your red pile, which she found much more satisfying, and she had a good time doing that. So, um, so that was interesting. For me, it felt like there's still a fair number of people who don't know who I am, but a lot who do. And like I said, have said that they have read all my books and love them, uh, which is great. Really, since Apollycon a year ago, I've only had one new release, and it's Twisted Magic, the third book in the series. So, and really, everyone who was going to read that has read it. Uh, but it felt like a very positive and useful convention for me. And I've been having this conversation with various gals, um, various authors, like so many are still weighing that, like, are they selling enough books there to justify the expense? And there are people who sell a lot of books and merchandise at this conference, and they're very focused on that. Whereas, as I've often said, my focus is very much on expanding my readership. And this year, like I say, felt like a pause. I'm glad I went, but it also feels like next year is going to be my big year. And I did have a wonderful time going to the Bramble dinner. I got to sit with Juliet Cross, she and I have been crossing publishing paths for many, many years, and we both have upcoming releases from Bramble. And so that's exciting. We'll be kind of release sisters, and she's fabulous. Then I also sat next to Chloe Peñaraden, who is Scottish, and she I think, just had a release or an upcoming release from Bramble. She was delightful. There was another gal there, Harper, and I don't know if I ever caught her last name. Then also people from the Tor Bramble team, Giselle, I think it's Rodriguez, and Caro Perney were there. There were two people who couldn't make it. Monique Patterson, who's the head of the imprint, had something come up. She couldn't make the dinner. And then Travis Baldry had said he was maybe going to come and then didn't. Uh, he's kind of a funny, he's even more of an exoplanet than I am, I think. Very different to these circles. So, the dinner was amazing. It was so good, and we had a lovely time. And also Erica Sang. That's right. Erica Sang has recently moved to Bramble, and she sat across from me, and we had an interesting conversation. So that was a good place for me to be, because for a very, very long time, Erica Sang has been on my wish list of dream editors. And and I was thinking, I'm so happy with Allie. I'm so happy with who I found. And I feel like this is an important message, because we develop these ideas as newer writers of like who our dream agent is, who our dream editor is. A little aside on dream agent, I did see upcoming author Dina Ray there, spent a lot of time with her. She gave me a beautiful bracelet just gorgeous. I should show you all, but I left it in the other room. With it, even has like a little coffee pot for the First Cup of Coffee podcast. And she she bought me lunch, and she bought some of my books, and she's just amazing. But she did come by because she's going to be. I hope that you don't mind if I say this, Tina, but she's got a, a book that she's going to be querying, and she's been researching agents, which is what I've advised her to do. And just so you all know, that's, you just start making your list, and you talk to authors, and you ask them who their agent is and why they like them, or if they like them. And you start getting, find out from them what they like best about their agent. And Dina was great that she was doing this. It was a great place to do this at Apollycon because she could chat up with the authors and ask them, like, which agents do you like? Which ones have you heard negative things about? It's really the best way to find out. And she told me that, by the way, everybody raves about my agent, Sarah Younger, who is absolutely fabulous. And and then she said it's just so annoying because Sarah is close to clients. She's like, but everybody raves about her. So it goes. But anyway, we developed these ideas, right? That we have to have, like the dream agent, the dream editor. And much like dating and marriage, we don't really know until we start getting to know the person. We don't really get into that. It's like not until you live with someone do you really get how you feel about them. So, like, I think it's interesting that Sarah Younger was not on my dream agent list for many, many years. It was only much later after someone told me about her, and she was still a baby agent at that time. I wasn't familiar with my editor, Allie Fisher, but, I really thought I wanted Erica Sang, and I liked Erica so much, but I also thought, I'm so happy with Allie. And so that's a great place to be. Uh, Very exciting for me the following evening. So this was Friday evening. So yeah, we went to 6 on Friday. Yeah, 2 to 6, because then I went to dinner with a bunch of author friends. Jennifer Eastep organized it. So Jennifer was there, and H.R. Moore was there, and Amanda Boucher, and a friend of hers, and Maria Snyder sat next to me. I really like Maria Snyder. Maria Vale came along, and and then Maria's friend, who is a bookseller, has Cupboard Maker Books. She was there. So we had this meal at the steakhouse that was really fantastic. It was pricey, but it was wonderful. And Bramble was having this author trivia night that started at 7. And there were going to be like 2 waves, from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9. And Caro had asked me if I could come, and I said yes. But they decided not to have any of my older books there because it would just be confusing to people with the new pen name coming up and the new book coming up. And she said she would have a trivia question in there for me. It turns out she made one up that was, if you could steal one thing from your arch nemesis, what would it be? Which is a great call out for Never the Roses. So when she came by my table, she and Giselle came by my table, and we had a great chat. They were really sweet to me, very welcoming, and they said, I asked Carol, you know, I said I'd have dinner with folks, and is it okay if I'm a little late? And she said, oh yeah, it's very fungible, just come if you can, when you can. So we started dinner at 6:30, right? And I thought, well, I might get there at like 8. I could be there for the second wave. Well, reader, I did not get there until like 9. It was one of those dinners where the waiter was really great and attentive at the beginning, and then like melted back down in the last half an hour to 45 minutes. It took us forever to get our check, and like he never asked us if we wanted dessert, and we don't know what happened there, but it was a thing. And we were all tired. We were already tired, but then particularly tired, as you are, like when you've been sitting there forever wondering if they're ever going to remember that you're alive, right? And so we left, and I saw that it was fortunately like right next to where they're doing this trivia night. So I said, well, I'm going to go, at least put in an appearance since I said I would. And so I went and I kind of found this high top table and sat down and was sort of getting my bearings. And then I saw Erica Singh sitting at a table with Chloe, and I think Juliet was there, and and Erica sang, and they waved at me and waved at me to come over, which, I mean, that kind of thing never gets old. And so I went and sat with them and had a glass of champagne, and we had a little chat, because like we were sort of off to the side, and the reader thing was going on, and then the reader thing broke up, and then I had, folks, the most amazing conversation with Monique Patterson. And I can't tell you everything she said to me, but she has read Never the Roses, which surprised me. I finally, she was referring to it, and I said, well, have you read the book? And she said, yes. She said, I read every book the imprint puts out. And I said, that's amazing. And she said, no, I want to know every single one of our books, so that when people talk to me about it, I know I can answer questions and I can know what they're talking about. So this is her commitment to the job. Monique is just fabulous. And if I didn't say, she's the head of the Bramble imprint. And so she said really exciting things about the release for next year, and exciting things about some other things. Sorry, I know that's probably just, I know you all give me grief about teasing you, but I probably shouldn't say this on a public podcast. But it was so exciting that when I left there, I was just bouncing. I was so happy. And I even texted Agent Sarah and I said, I know it's late and I know it's a Friday, but I had this amazing conversation with Monique Patterson. And she said, well, I'm in a car coming home. And I said, shall I call? And she said, yes. So I called and told her. And so we were both like, hey. So it's really great stuff. It's almost worth it to go and do that, just to get to hear really cool news, like off the record. As I often advise you writers out there, uh, asking me stuff in person, yeah, you want to hear that off the record, right? So, other things, when we first got there, we went to that party that was sort of an author mixer. It was up at the top rooftop bar, and it was really pretty up there. It was lovely, very windy, however. And I got to connect with several authors, and that was fun. And Tina Byers interviewed me quickly because I recognized her from her Instagram. I also got to know, oh, now I'm not going to be able to think of her name. Charlie, who had been doing Charlie's book recs, and now she's doing Charlie marketing recs. We had a great time talking. Very fun to meet her, and I really liked getting to know Chloe. Oh, and Carissa Broadbent, that's who was sitting next to Chloe at the party when I talked to Monique. So it was fun to talk with her, and it was funny because they're like, "Well, I know I've heard your name. I've been hearing your name, and it's great to meet you." Um, yeah, so I'm still decompressing. I'm I'm just going to take today to catch up. One day I'm going to be caught up on all the things. Um, who knows when that will be? But and then Friday, I think I'm probably going to be in Tucson. So we'll see about podcasts. Uh, I know it's been very sporadic this month, but I'm going to do better. So on that note, I hope you all are doing well. I hope things are going swimmingly for you, and I will talk to you all soon. How's that? You all take care. Bye bye.